What's going on? Hope you're doing okay and that your health is awesome. I'm a bit sick, so that's why I'm saying it. Uh, but I hope you can hear my voice well, even though it's a bit. Uh, yeah. I thought it was a long time ago since I made a Magic the Gathering video, so uh, I'm making one now. And this is on a token deck I made. This is not a pre-con, it's something I made myself. I have watched a few YouTube videos though, so I have gotten inspiration. It's not like I've invented the wheel somewhat. I have gotten some help on YouTube. So, and this whole token deck is based out of this commander right here, and I'm going to read the card before I go through my deck. Uh, this commander is called Essex Fractal Bloom. He's a legendary, or she is a legendary, as is the requirement for commanders. I didn't know that up until recently, so I have to change a few of my decks, I think. But that's a story for another video. This commander reads Flying. The first time you would create one or more tokens during each of your turns, you may instead choose a creature other than Essex Fractal Bloom and create that many tokens that are copies of that creature. Yeah. So if that doesn't make a whole lot of sense, then Magic the Gathering sometimes have tokens as creatures. Uh, let's see if I can find an example here real quick. Uh, yeah, here's a creature right here. Yeah. So this is an elemental. When Avenger of Zendikar enters battlefield, put a 0/1 green plant creature token into the battlefield for each land you control. Yeah. But that means if I have this commander in play, I get to choose a creature on the battlefield and create copies of that creature instead of the 0/1 green plant creatures. Yeah. So if I have 5 lands, then I get 5 copies of uh, yeah, said creature. Yeah. So that's cool. I don't know if yeah, I guess so. I can have 5 copies of this guy if I want. So that's the idea behind this deck. If this commander is not in play, if it's dead or is in the command zone, then this whole deck is pretty much useless. So it has to be in play for any of these cards to work. Yeah. Okay. So moving on then, this is land. When it enters the battlefield, look at the top 4 of your library, Excel 1 face down. Okay. Okay, so it's just a way for the deck to become quicker, I guess. Yeah. Path of Ancestry, another cool land. So if I'm struggling to get, for example, blue mana, then this land will help me get there, as it lets me play both green and blue mana. Yeah. So that's cool. Gotta have some counter spells in my deck. It's blue, so that's why. Uh, and it also lets me return a permanent, so that's also powerful. So then I can return this to my hand and play it again. So, pretty awesome. Another one of these commander lands. Basic land, nothing to see here really. This is pretty cool. It lets me control enchanted creature and enchanted creature gets infect, so I have no idea why this is here though. I have no need for maximum hand size in this deck, so I'm going to remove this and replace it with a normal land, I think. Yeah, so I'm going to put that aside and do that. This is a sort of a 2-for-1 kind of card. So, put target spell or non-land permanent into its owner's library second from the top, which is pretty good. And Aftermath. So I can only cast this from my graveyard. Yeah. Mana Stone. Yeah, cool to have. Especially if you have more than one color in your mana pool. Just to get up lands more quickly, really. Also a cool deck. No, also a cool color. Uh, also a cool card. Thank you. From blue, return all permanents of the color of your choice to their owner's hand. So it's just a. But it's a sorcery, so you need to know when to cast it. Yeah. A wall with Defender. Nothing to see here really, but it's got an ability which says when Mnemonic Wall enters the battlefield, you may return target instant or sorcery card from graveyard to your hand, which is in itself really awesome. This is a classic land right here, Rogue's Passage. It's gotten, well, over a dozen reprints since it was released. It's a land, but it's also got target creature can't be blocked this turn, so uh, nice to have the ability to do some damage to your fellow players without them stopping you. Growth Spiral, draw a card, you may put a land from your hand into the battlefield, which is pretty good. The more lands you have, the better. Uh, okay. I don't really know why I have this in my deck though. Uh, I have no need for a 3/3 ape running around. Oh, well, I guess I gotta look at that as well. Choose two, so I get to choose two of these. Return target creature or planeswalker to its owner's hand. Counter target artifact or enchantment spell. Put 2+1/+1 counters on target creature. Okay. Target player shuffle up to 3 target cards from the graveyard into their library. Oh yeah, so it's the last one, I guess. And the first one. Yeah. Yeah, and the second one. Okay, that's cool. Yeah, and just a classic pacifier. So you throw this on the creature and it becomes, well, pretty much useless. That's cool. Blue land. And here I get to excel artifact or creature. But if I do that on my own battlefield, then I get to produce a token, which again triggers my commander, which is cool. Right back, guys. Sorry about that. Gonna... Yep. Okay, another good blue card here. It's called Etherize. Return all attacking creatures to their owner's hand. And it's an instant, so if the alarm bells are ringing and you got 100 creatures approaching you, you can just do this and crisis averted. Yeah. Hinterland Harbor enters the battlefield tapped unless you control a forest or an island. Okay, so yeah. Okay, so this is a planeswalker. Yeah, and it lets me just put out a token, a green plant creature token. Yeah, and this triggers my commander again. I can only do this once each turn now, but this is still really powerful. So yeah. For example, I choose to create a green plant creature token. Yeah. But instead of the plant creature token, I trigger my commander, or well, it triggers automatically since it's just text standing on the commander here. And then I suddenly have a token of this creature instead, which is an 8/8 hexproof creature. And it's unblockable unless all creatures block it, so yeah. Actually, I think I'm going to put this in my deck, really. It's just that good, yeah. Okay, land. For each token you control, put a token into the battlefield that's a copy of that permanent. So, yeah. So this is just awesome because you got like 3 of those creature tokens. You got 3 of these tokens, yeah. And this card effectively doubles it. So now you suddenly got 6 of these instead. So it's automatic win, man. What else? Simic Growth Chamber enters the battlefield tap. When Simic enters the battlefield, return a land you control to its owner's hand. Okay. Yeah, but I get to produce 2 mana with this land, so it's pretty good. Great X. Yeah, pretty powerful card. So if I pay 6 mana, then 2 green and whatever. I get 4 green forest dreadland creature tokens. But no, I don't get that because I choose a creature on the battlefield and I choose this, for example. Yeah. So land. Okay. This has really nothing to do with the token deck, but it's a pretty good card nonetheless. It stops players from potentially playing spells because this guy gets stronger for each spell. So creature spells, sorceries, instants, they're all spells, and this guy just gets stronger, including my own spells. So pretty good. Land. Yeah. A variation of another card in here. Return all creature to owner's hands. Max hand size is usually 7, so exile target artifact or enchantment. Put on target creature you control or X system. Yeah. So that's pretty good. That has nothing to do with the token deck though, but good nonetheless. A land which also has a scry effect, which is pretty cool. Scry just basically means that I Look at the top card of my library, and I could put it on the top or the bottom of my library. Yeah. But it's cool because I get to plan ahead a little bit. Yeah. I get to look at 5 cards on top and put a land card in my hand. Oh, put it on top of my library. And the rest of the bottom. Okay. Right. Oh well. Okay. I'm gonna. I don't know why I have this card in here either, actually. Drag under, return target creature to its owner's hand. It's a sorcery, so. Uh, yeah, it's a long story, guys, but I don't think I'm gonna have this card in here, so I'm gonna find something else. I have a draw deck that will benefit from that card better. Okay. I might just replace this with a normal land, to be honest. Don't really see why this is here. Because I don't got like many creatures of the same type in this deck, so. Oh, this is pretty cool though. It's a way to have more control of which type of card I am searching for and what. So if I need lands, then I can choose that, and if I need something else, then I can choose that as well. So pretty awesome. And that's the cool thing about green. The mana acquisition is pretty effective. So yeah. Yeah, another land that lets me play either blue or green, which is pretty cool. Uh, and this is cool. This is one of the reasons why green is so awesome when it comes to lands. I get to search my library for up to 3 basic land cards, reveal them, and put them into my hand. So that's yeah. Another land that I don't understand why is here, so I'm going to put this in another deck, which benefits from proliferate. Yeah. Gonna replace it, but with just a normal land, I think. This is good though. It's a Soul Ring. It's basically what you need. And if you get that early, then lucky you. Uh, this is also pretty good. You can sacrifice it, and you search your library for up to 2 basic land cards. Land. Also pretty good. Hexproof is nice to have. And yeah, haste is pretty self-explanatory why that is good. Sacrifice a blue creature to put... Okay, so... This is awesome, and here is why. I have a blue creature. I can even have a blue creature token. And I get to put X comrade tokens into play. But you guessed it. No, I don't, because those are copies of, yeah, this guy. So if I sacrificed a creature that costs 6 mana, then I get 6 of these. Yep. I understood that correctly. Land. Finally starting to see some forests in here. I think I'm going to add more forests. Ring of Three Wishes. I bought this card in Outland for 150 bucks. It was totally worth it, man. Hello, Marty. What's up, man? Yeah, it's a pretty cool card, this. Yeah. So I got 3 wish counters on here, and I can have 3 rocks or a dice or whatever that shows 3, and each time I remove a wish counter, I get to search my library for a card. So it's, yeah. It's basically a tutor, but it's an artifact form, and it's 3 tutors for the price of 1 card. So pretty cool. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, there's not many people who watch these videos, but I do them nonetheless because I get something out of it. So yeah. Exile X target creature. For each creature exiled this way, its controller creates a 2/2 green board creature token. I can do that as well, of course, but this commander, as I have, will let me create a copy of whatever creature on the battlefield. And for example, I can create a copy of this. So then I get like, well, if I have 3 mediocre creatures, I can get 3 of these instead. Yeah. But don't worry about me, man. Marty, I'm good. I'm having fun. So it doesn't matter if not many people watch these videos. It's okay. I'm having fun making these Magic the Gathering videos. If I didn't have fun, then I wouldn't do it. So don't worry about it. Land. Yeah. Pretty self-explanatory, that. Can't have a blue color in your deck without having some counterspells, and this is the classic counterspell. It costs 2 blue mana, but then you just counterspell anything without even thinking about it, and it has no disadvantage, so you just counterspell and nothing. So pretty awesome. Not exactly a counterspell, but you can redirect targets to new targets if you want. So if somebody targets your creature, you can redirect the damage to something else. You playing Magic the Gathering, Marty? This land, though, is really cool because you should try it. They're selling the best format for now is called Commander. So it's 100 cards. I'm showing you 100 cards here, and yeah, you should try it. If you got some friends, you can suggest it to them and stuff. It's pretty fun. Colony Garden enters the battlefield tapped. When Colony Garden enters the battlefield, put a 0/1 green plant creature token into the battlefield. And you also produce green mana, of course. But as mentioned, this token deck is not about 0/1 creatures, it's about powerful creatures, because this commander changes the creatures. So it's not a 1/0 anymore. It can be this creature, for example, or any creature on the battlefield. So you get to copy one of your friend's creatures and they get annoyed and pissed at you for doing it. But you just laugh at their face and have fun because you're having fun playing this deck. So, yeah. Land, nothing more to say. Land is what you use to pay for your creatures and spells. So if you got two lands like I have now, you pay by doing this. You tap them, and then you can play, for example, Counterspell, because you paid 2 mana. See the drops there? 2 drops. Drops. Yeah. So, that was for you, Marty. Only for you, man. Yeah. Okay. Hurl into History. Pretty cool card name. Conquer target artifact or creature spell. Discover X for X is that spell's mana value. This is where it gets a little bit complicated, though, even for me. But I get to exile cards from the top of my library. So exile means I remove cards from my library. Yeah. Until you exile an online card with that mana value or less. Oh yeah, okay. Cast it without paying its mana cost. So yeah, okay. So a little bit complicated, that card, but it's still very good, so I'm gonna keep it in there. I generally remove cards which are too difficult. Then, because if cards are too difficult, then my friends and me get into arguments because we don't understand the cards, and we spend a lot of time on Google trying to understand the card, and it just gets annoying. So that's why I try to keep the difficulty level on my cards to a minimum. When Johnny Lifestreader enters the battlefield, you may tap any number of untapped creatures you control. You gain life. Tap this one. Okay. Okay, so it's basically a card which gives me life. That's cool. Okay, so you understand a little bit then, Marty. That's good. Good to hear, man. When sleep paralysis in the battlefield. Okay, so you can just pacify a creature. Yeah. Yeah, okay. Land. And we have this then. Island Walk. Oh yeah, this is awesome. This creature is... I actually won a match with this creature because I made tokens of it and they had no chance because it's got Island Walk, and what that means is that the creature is unblockable as long as the defending player controls an island. Okay, you say, but not everybody has islands. But wait, there's more. All lands are islands in addition to their other types. Yeah, but wait, there's more. Creatures without flying or island walk can't attack, so you basically just pacify the whole battlefield. And that's what I did the other day, and my friends Yeah, thanks for watching, Marty. Take care. Have a nice day, man. Yeah, so this creature is just he's just awesome. And uh, I'm basically just gonna search for this creature each time I play, I think. Because that's a win proc right there. Commander Sphere. Had one mana of any color return commander color's identity. I don't know if this is any good, to be honest. This deck only has 2 cards, so or 2 lands types. But if it was more colors, 3 or even 4, then maybe. Yeah, I think I'm gonna change that up to something else. This though is pretty good. It's Temple of False God, so add 2 mana. It's generic mana, so it has no color, but it's mana nonetheless, and activate only if you control 5 or more lands. So pretty good, pretty good. Mana, solve the equation. Yeah, so I get to search my library for a sorcery or an instant card. Pretty awesome, right there. And this is also quite good because I get to return a creature, so then I can play the creature again, which again triggers my token deck. So pretty awesome. But I got to know when I gotta play it. Because if this is the only creature left on the battlefield, then I get to return him too. So Begone Marvels. When you cast a spell, if there are 8 or more permanents cards in your graveyard, copy the spell twice. You may choose new targets for the copies. Return target permanent card from your graveyard to your hand. Yeah, so pretty awesome. So it's a sort of a resurrect card type of thing. Only black color has that. But no, guess what? Green has it too. Okay, Reborn and spell tapped. Okay, not really efficient for this deck, but nonetheless, I got a counter on one of my creatures. It's cool. Creatures you control have add 1 mana of any color to your mana pool. Oh yeah, pretty cool. Draw a card for each attacking creature. Always nice to have. Welcome back, Marty. Nice to see you, man. Colonial Hydra. Enters the battlefield with 4+1/+1 counters on it. Whenever Colonial Hydra attacks, double the number of +1/+1 counters on each creature you control. Okay. Yeah, so it's sort of a mixing it up kind of card, but I'm not too sure if this is too relevant for this deck, but I'm just going to keep it in there. It's a good creature. Land. Another land which lets me return a mana. I mean, a sorcery or an instant card from my graveyard to my hand. Oh, it's on top of my library. Okay, but still, it's pretty good. Here I choose one, so I even get to counter spell, or I may. Yeah, that's right, man. It's an island. Yeah. Uh, yeah, and I get to copy the spell, so pretty cool. And here, another one of those powerful green cards where you get to have more lands. You may play an additional land this turn. Draw a card. So, that's awesome. As scheduled courtyard enters the battlefield, choose a creature type. Another one of those lands, which I don't know if I really need on this deck. I know another deck that needs it more, so I'm going to add it to that instead. Yeah, I think so. A really cool mana stone for this deck because it's got both colors. So I pay one, but I get two. So. Junk Winder. Okay. Whenever a token enters the battlefield under your control, tap target non-land permanent and opponent controls. It doesn't untap during its controllers. Next untap step. Okay. Yeah. So pretty cool. So I get to pacify my creatures that my opponents control, and I can just attack at will because all my opponent's creatures are tapped because of this guy. Yeah. This card though is really, really good because it's an enchantment and it's called Awakening Zone. And at the beginning of your upkeep, you may put a 0/1 colorless Eldrazi spawn creature token into the battlefield. It has sacrifice a creature, add one to your mana pool. Yeah. But it's the top text that's interesting. At the beginning of your upkeep, you may put a 0/1 colorless Eldrazi spawn creature token in the battlefield. And when I do that, because it doesn't cost anything, it just happens because there's no cost involved. It triggers my commander. The first time you would create one or more tokens during each of your turns, which is this. You may instead choose a creature other than Essex Fractal Bloom, which is the name of my commander, and create that many tokens that are copies of that creature. Yeah. And then I choose this guy, for example. So instead of the 0/1 colorless Eldrazi spawn creature token, I get the Kraken 8/8. Yeah. So I'm hoping you're beginning to see a pattern here, guys, on how this deck works. Blue land, nothing to see here. Thieving Magpie. What's cool about this creature, though, is that I get to draw a card when I attack an opponent. And that happens when the creature attacks and my opponent can't block it. For example, this creature has flying, and if my opponent doesn't have any flying creatures, then it passes beyond the defense zone of my friend whom I'm playing against, and I deal 1 damage to him or her. And all players in this game have 40 life, or we start with 40 life, so that means now my friend has 39 life, and I get to draw a card. Pretty cool. Forest. An enchant creature, which means I control enchanted creature instead. So I get to steal a creature from my opponent with this. So then they either have to kill the creature I control, and then it goes to my enemy player's graveyard, or they need to destroy this aura, which controls the creature. Forests. This is actually also pretty good. I get to cast spells as though they had flash, so then I get to cast sorceries or creatures instantly, anytime in my turn. Yeah. Because all turns have phases, and I am only allowed to cast creatures or sorceries in a specific phase, but that card lets me cast it whenever. I just have to pay 2 to do that. And then I do this, and then yeah. That's what this symbol means right here. Yeah, the turn arrow. It's like a woo, woo. Yeah, okay. Land. I know this is not an official Magic the Gathering card. I found that out later, but what can you do? It's a pretty cool card nonetheless. It's doubling season. If an effect would create one or more tokens under your control, it creates twice that many. Yeah, right. It creates that many tokens instead. So instead of creating one token, I create 2. So Mari, woo. Yeah, sorry about that. Okay. Search your library up to 2 basic land cards, reveal those cards. Yeah. And put those into the battlefield. So, pretty good. As I mentioned before, green is pretty good to get lands quickly. So, this is one of those cards. Forests. Another card which I don't really understand why I have in this deck, because I got artifacts in this deck, so I don't know why. But oh well, all artifacts in play during your upkeep paid an additional 2 or bear this artifact. So if you're a player and you have an artifact deck, which means a deck that's basically just artifacts, and I play this, then you have to pay 2 for each artifact you have. So that player is basically well, sorry for the French, fucked. Yeah. So it's a pretty powerful card, this, but I'm not really sure if this is all that useful in this deck, though. But I'm just going to keep it and see what happens. Another really powerful card. This is a creature, Hornet Queen. It's called. It's got flying death touch, but when Hornet Queen enters the battlefield, create 4 1/1 green insect creature tokens with flying and death touch. Yeah, that's pretty useful. But I'd rather have this creature and 4 of these instead. Yeah. And this commander lets me do that. Yeah. Approaching the end of this deck now. Forests. I think I'm going to add more forests in here instead of the cards I don't need. Destroy all artifacts and summons for each permanent destroyed this way. Its controller creates a 3/3 green centaur creature token. Yeah, so pretty good. It's a removal of all enchantments and artifacts. Yeah. So in case this wasn't enough, then I got this as well. Land. Human Wizard. Another good card from blue. And when Archaeomancer enters the battlefield, return target instant or sorcery card from your graveyard to your hand. So pretty good. And I got a lot of sorceries and instants in this deck. And the graveyard is where you put the spells when you've used them. So. And last but not least, return target permanent you control and target permanent you don't control to their owner's hands. So, if I got this out and I play this, and I return this creature and play it again, trigger my commander, and now instead of 4 of these, I got 8 of these. So, yeah, it's pretty good. I've had lots of fun with this deck. It's pretty awesome. But I'm gonna change out some cards here. I think there's some cards I don't need in here, to be honest. Yeah, not that one, but this, and this, and this, and this, and this, and this. Yeah. Yeah, and this one as well. I'm not drawing that many cards that I need a card that says no maximum hand size. It's okay to have 7, which is the standard hand size. Okay, guys, thank you very much for watching my token deck video. It's been cool. And I sort of remind myself why I'm playing Magic the Gathering with these videos and why I'm having so much fun with it. And I'm playing against my, well, potentially 3 other friends. So then we're 4 guys playing, and each match can take about 45 to 1.5 hours. So we're sitting from 7 to 1 to 2 at night. So it's pretty cool, pretty fun. Yeah. Thank you for watching, and if you enjoyed the video, maybe you want to play Magic the Gathering yourself, just look up on the web and stuff and have a gander. There's lots to do in Magic the Gathering and lots to explore. So if you got other interests, that's fine. But if you feel a bit bored and you want something to do, then Magic the Gathering is not a bad choice. Okay. Mari and the rest of you, thank you very much for watching, and have yourself a really nice day. Take care. Bye-bye.